Good evening and welcome back to the Orion Report. In tonight's episode, I will read another article from our website, www.orionism.org. This article was written by the scribe. Spiritual Communism versus the Divine Republic. It occurs to me that Orionism, like most forms of monotheism as religious teachings, tends to call people to have a relationship with God, one-on-one. Your salvation dependent not so much on mere participation, but on your choices, your will to do right, reform, and do what is asked. But more, to take the time to pray, worship, meditate, study the scriptures, think about the meanings, and even to go forth and do good works. Sacrifice your time and energy to go to church. The enormous amount of differing sects and denominations in monotheism testifying to the centricity of individual interpretation. Religion itself tends to be more collective, of course, a group activity, a cooperative effort. Despite its bad PR, religion is people coming together in common cause, common goals, common views and aspirations, pulling together, encouraging and edifying each other, supporting each other, often in very tangible ways, all with a shared hope and faith in some happy ending or outcome, a sense of the greater good. It is no different with political parties or organizations, or any spiritual ideology, that there is greater strength in numbers and unity. There is greater support. Whether religion or politics, there is often a worldview at stake, a vision of how the world should or should not be. And only in organization and unity can any worldview hope to be realized. So I don't poo-poo religion, and indeed see no difference between religious and political organizations. The two have often complemented each other, as is natural. It is perfectly reasonable that religious people, that is, people with an ideological worldview of how they wish life and the world to be, should seek to propagate and forge that into some present reality. In note, irreligiosity and anti-religiosity are both, in a sense, religiously held viewpoints that are often coupled with political views as well. Yet, I've noted in the New Age philosophies, as also in what might be termed Eastern philosophy, in esotericism generally, that there is an expressed will to preach, teach, encourage and push surrender, passivity, collectivist mediocrity, graying of the lines, bleakness of being, sheepleness, even as there is a push in others towards total self-regard, self-obsession, and selfishness. Yet modern spiritual and corrupted forms of religion therewith seem to be committed to turning the entire world into a communist, collectivist, humanistic, and ultra-secular, aka godless, realm of existence. There is a tendency to depersonalize the deity and the divine as little more than a mindset and a state of being, that state being equivalent to an eternally droning hum. Even as there is an emphasis on telling individuals to banish ego, banish self-interest, become passive, and embrace what we call the agenda. Go along, get along, lay down and be victims of. In short, many spiritual and religious leaders are globalists and collectivists, committed to the agenda, as we call it, aka global communism. It must be said that the IA, the I Am, is calling you to individuation, a one-on-one relationship with God, and not to banish yourself, your identity, but quite the contrary, to fight disillusion, resist pacification, to become and be an ascendant and God-realized you. and unite the levels of your being into one wholeness of identity. The human, the angel, and the shadow thereof, as one personage. We call you to become an anchor in the infinite, which is to say, an actualized living soul, rather than a sheeple or non-player character. The difficulty I've seen is self-motivation. Followers follow. Urians are called to be self-motivated. Do the work, study, meditate, worship one-on-one with God. Resist the forces that work to keep humanity caged and repressed. The first religious act as a Urian is to create your own sacred space in your home or room, even if just some little corner, where you do your daily devotions. You have to do Urianism. No one does it for you. There is no compound or cult leader to go to and have him or her provide for all your needs and tell you what to think and say. You have to do the devotions. You have to walk that walk, even as you have to be the one to resist and pray against the forces within you, within your life, within the world, that are trying to keep you a prisoner, a blind and bound soul on the soul ranch, doomed to be erased and reinserted into the not-so-figurative matrix. Religious people go to church. They are given sermons. They are told what to think and say. But we expect every Urian to read, study, contemplate, do the daily devotions, and determine for themselves to live by the 20 principles, to work the steps in the book and be honest with us and themselves about it. Moreover, it's on the individuals to resolve to come together, to figure out a way to live near other believers, if they wish to create fellowship and unity. Even in this, if you read our teachings, the idea of small study groups, the idea of election by merit, the kingdom vision of a nation that has an armed populace, a free, neutral press, free trade, free market, elections, no thought police in your home, no emphasis on policing thoughts, yet a nation founded on the ideal of human ascension and the colonization of space and entry into higher realms of existence in paramount. We do not want a collectivist future, but a new heroic age, a metaphysical age, to amplify and glorify the majesty that are the innate wonders of the human spirit. The human capacity for nobility, love, empathy, compassion, intellect, spirituality, but also our capacity for courage, martial discipline, and self-betterment, even the elevation of human physical beauty that is inherent in our species. We can be a very beautiful people when at our best. We do not work to see humanity dissolve into a grayness, as some of the unseen overlords are and advocate for, but for a majestic and epic future for the species, as an ascendant people, walking in the divine light and grandeur of the Most High. In short, ours is not a spirituality that pushes collectivism, neither extreme and bizarre levels of individualism, but for the idea of a spiritual republic of individuals united in a common cause for the kingdom come, the kingdom within us, but also among all humankind, so that all might become, in time, Homo Angelicus. Thank you, and God bless you.